Okay, so third grade, we've been talking about contractions, Unit 11. We remember contractions are two words that are put together. We usually use them when we speak. It's a less formal way of speaking. When you put the two words together, you remove some letters. So we talked about when you add a word plus not. Usually the N goes with the first word. The O becomes your apostrophe. So in the word do not, don't. Okay, remember that O becomes the apostrophe, right? Except for the word willn't. If you have will not, that's an irregular and that becomes won't. There is no such word as willn't. If you're adding is really easy. You drop the I and add an S. So if you want to say she is, you say she's. That I becomes the apostrophe and then you have S. So we're going to learn a couple more today. What if you want to say I will? I'll be coming. He'll be coming. So if you want to say I will, I will help you. I'll help you. The I stays the same. Now remember, it's really important to have that capital letter I. This time, you actually drop the W altogether. The I becomes the apostrophe, and then you have the LL. So the W, when you're making a contraction with will, the W gets dropped completely. The I becomes your apostrophe, and then you keep your LL at the end. So if you want to say she'll be coming later. She will be coming later. She'll be coming later. The she stays the same. You drop the W, the I becomes the apostrophe, and then you have your LL. They'll be coming after they eat. They will. They'll be coming. You keep the they. The I becomes the apostrophe, and then you have your LL. You also have the word have, right? You could have done something. You should have done something. Now, a lot of kids think it's should have. You should have done something. I should have done it. And they'll write, I should have. I should have. If you should have done something, I should have done it. You make that a contraction. Should stays the same. You drop the H completely. The A becomes the apostrophe. And then you have the VE. So remember, a lot of times you hear shoulda, woulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Should have. Could have. If you have could have, you drop that H completely. The A becomes the apostrophe, and then you add VE. Should have, could have, would have. She would have come. She would have come. It's not would have. No. It's would have. She would have come. So you have would, apostrophe, the H is lost completely. The A becomes the apostrophe, VE. So if you're adding will, something plus will, you drop the W, the I becomes the apostrophe, and you keep the LL. So I'll be coming. Could have, would have, should have, drop the H completely, the A becomes the apostrophe, and then you keep the VE. Okay, so third grade, you can make contractions with not. You can make contractions with is. You can make contractions with have. You can make contractions with will. You can also make contractions with am and are. So if you want to say, I am coming, I'm coming, The A becomes the apostrophe, and then you keep the M. I'm coming. You can also make contractions with are. We're coming, right? We are coming. So you could say, we are coming. That's a contraction. The we stays the same. The A becomes the apostrophe, and you keep the RE. We're coming. They're coming. Remember, that's one of our sound-alike words. They are coming. If you want to say they're coming, they stays the same. The A becomes the apostrophe, and then you have your RE. They're coming. You can also, so we can have something plus not, something plus is, something plus have, something plus will, something plus am, something plus are. You can also have something plus would. He would be tired after the game. He'd be tired. He would be tired. If you want to say he would, now in this case, you drop the W, drop the O, the U becomes the apostrophe, drop the L. The L becomes the apostrophe, he'd. So when you do would, you drop almost every single, you do drop every letter except the D. So if you would say, we would come with you, we'd come if we didn't have to take care of my baby sister. We would come with you. If we didn't, we'd come with you. All of that gets dropped. The L becomes the apostrophe, and then you only keep the D. So in would, you lose 1, 2, 3, 4 letters. You only keep that D. You'd be tired too. I'm sure you talk to your mom all the time. You'd be like, well, you'd be tired too if you were on the computer all day doing Zooms like me. You would be tired too. You would. I'm going to make that a contraction. You'd. U stays the same. You lose all 3 of those letters. The L becomes the apostrophe, and you have the D. You'd. Now that D could also be there if you would say had. I had a cold. I'd have a cold. If you don't wash your hands, I'd have a cold. I'd have a cold. I, no H, A becomes apostrophe, and D. So on the next video, we'll talk more about the difference between would, and if you notice, he'd and I'd, they look the same. So you have to make sure when you're reading the sentence, is it would or is it had? Okay, so 3rd grade. I threw a lot at you on how to spell contractions. Sorry. Most important, it's how you read the contraction. And it's very important that you know the 2 words that make up the contraction, because usually you have to use the context of the sentence to help you. So we have 2 sentences here. He'd be late because of traffic. You'll be happy when you see the score. So we have contraction here and a contraction here. I know because of the apostrophe. So when you read this sentence, he'd be late because of traffic. Remember, there's 2 words that can give you an apostrophe D. Had, would, actually more, could, should. So 4 words. In this sentence, what 2 words do you think make up that contraction? He'd be late because of traffic. He'd be late because of traffic. You should have said, He would be late because of traffic. He had be late because of traffic makes no sense. He could be late because of traffic, maybe. He should be late because of traffic, maybe. But the best would be he would be late because of traffic. Let's come down here. You'll be happy. What two words make up you'll? Think to yourself. You know one of them. You is going to be easy. What makes up you'll? You should have said you will be happy when you see the score. So contractions are important. We use them mostly when we speak. We do use them in writing. It's more of an informal way to talk. Just remember your rules for dropping letters and making sure you have an apostrophe. Good job, third grade.